The Blades Ramble are proudly supported by our main channel sponsor, My Business Group, a group of brands designed to support owners, leaders and managers in business. If you're looking to grow your business, contact mybusinessgroup.co.uk today for more information or follow the link in the description below. Today's Ramble is proudly sponsored by High Point Access Limited, your one-stop shop for all your working at heights and roofing needs. Please find their details in all the links below. Thank you again to High Point Access for your continued support of the Blades Ramble.
Like and subscribe to Blades Ramble.
Oh, I love that new intro. What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and this is Rumour Has It, another rumour doing the rounds from our friends, from a media source in Chile, the home country of this man, Ben Brereton Diaz, who've got 2.6 million followers, by the way, are reporting that Ben Brereton Diaz is no longer it's a harsh way of putting it, no longer wanted at Southampton, and therefore will be available. And there's 4 championship clubs interested. And those 4 championship clubs are Derby County, who he's just been on loan with, West Bromwich Albion, Middlesbrough, who obviously had a very good season themselves, and Sheffield United. So let me just read the article very quickly to you. It's been transcribed from the native tongue, so apologies if this doesn't translate very well. Oh, it's not done it for me now. I knew that would happen. How do I translate this? Who's any ideas? There we go. Translate button always helps. Always translate pages from Spanish. Let's click that. Turn around in Brereton Diaz's future. They put Brereton here. Now, for anybody that knows Ben Brereton Diaz, it was not a real person before he added Diaz to his name. Ben Brereton didn't really do anything at Blackburn or anything like that, or at Forest. Ben Brereton Diaz went up a level. So let's give him his proper name, please. The Chilean English striker would not enter the plans of the Saints. Again, it's broken English. And in that scenario, who once again become one of the most sought-after attackers in the Championship. The English football season has come to an end, and these days, the future of Ben Brereton Diaz remains up in the air after his loan at Derby County ends. In principle, the striker will have to return to Southampton, owner of his pass, a team that has finally failed to be promoted to the Premier League after being disqualified from the playoffs in the case of espionage on Middlesbrough's training in the semi-finals. I love this. We should do every transfer show like this, to be honest. However, despite having a contract until 2028, the Saints would not have contemplated continuing to count on the attacker, for whom they paid more than $9 million, who again aroused the interest of several clubs in the Championship. According to the Daily Echo, 2 old acquaintances of Big Ben would return to the fray for his signing. Derby County itself, where he played this season, and Sheffield United, a shirt he defended during his time in the Premier League. In addition, other teams that would also follow the Chilean national team would be West Bromwich Albion, who managed to avoid relegation in the last few days, and Middlesbrough, who reached the final of the promotion playoffs, before losing to Hull. In this way, Brereton once again positions himself as one of the most sought-after strikers in the competitive English second division. Love that. Many more articles from the Chilean press, please. So, yeah, that's a very basic overview of their report on Ben Brereton Diaz once again becoming available for transfer. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've been here before. Why does Sheffield United always have to go back to the same targets? Why are we always linked with old players? Well, if they're good... if they're old enough, they're good enough, all that sort of stuff. But if they're still quality players at the level, I've no qualms in this at all, in us being linked to players. I'm not saying we need to definitely buy these type of players, but he has talked about having Championship hardened players, and this fits the profile for me. So I'm just going to go over Brereton Diaz's previous records in and around the Championship and what he's done previously. So from what people remember. So he had a little spell in Villarreal, as we know. He has played 24 times in the Premier League, 10 times for Southampton, 14 times for Sheffield United. For United, he scored 6 goals and got 1 assist in what was a poor season for us. But he was a standout player coming in off the left-hand side. Now, this is key for me because he will be filling a position that we know that we are going to need to fill. Whether that's through the sale of Gus Hamer or whether that's moving Gus Hamer inside, which is something that has been widely talked about at the club. So even if Gus Hamer stays, which I think is unlikely, but if Gus Hamer stays, we are still looking for a left-sided forward. And if you think about the contrast in the styles of the wingers but the winger, really. I mean, I know Tahith Chong's still here, but the starting winger over on the right-hand side is Andre Brooks, a left-footer who loves to come inside, and that's it. That's the way that we play. We have inside forwards, if you like. Ben Brereton Diaz complements that on the left-hand side. He's a much more natural left-sided forward drifting inside than I would say Gus Hamer is. I think Gus Hamer is much more of a central operator usually, but we've played him with great success on the left-hand side. I think Brereton Diaz potentially gives us that as well. So his most recent, obviously, he's best remembered for his form at Blackburn Rovers. And over his time at Blackburn, he played 160 times in the Championship, scored 45 goals, 13 assists. So it's a really good overall record. But he had 1 season where he was absolutely outstanding. I don't know if I've got it here, but he was just top class for Blackburn and became a really hot property at the level. And because of that, he got his move to Villarreal and ended up, because he went on a free transfer, held out rather than going for a big transfer fee. He ended up getting the lion's share of the wedge, if you like. So he's been on big money. And when we got him in the Premier League, it was seen as a bit of a coup. And then when Southampton signed him and we were able to sign him in terms of on loan again, it wasn't really a realistic prospect, I don't think, for us to sign him permanently. He's spent the season now with Derby. He's had a good season with Derby. Let's see what he's done for Derby in terms of across the season. He's played 40 games. See, some of the theories from a Sheffield United perspective would have been his availability. Some of those concerns. He's played 40 games this season for Derby and played well. He scored 7 goals and important goals at good times. It's been in a good Derby side as well that have gone really well in the division. They still had a squeak going into the last game of the last game actually again in the playoffs. Just a bridge too far in the end, but got 3 assists as well. So 10 goal involvements, a goal involvement every 4 games. I understand that he won't have played every single minute, but I think he's a real threat at this level. And if we can get him for the right price, I don't know what sort of fee Southampton will be looking for. He's still got 2 years remaining on his deal, which will be a healthy deal as well. It's got to be financially viable for Sheffield United. But if we're working with a smaller squad, then you would think that we could potentially still offer healthy wages at the level. I think this would be a really smart move for us in terms of what we need. We know what we're getting. It's a proven operator. He knows the club. He's enjoyed his time with the club. I think it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. I've not seen it in many other articles or anything like that as yet, but I want to know your thoughts. Would you take Ben Brereton Diaz back at Sheffield United? I think it's a bit of a no-brainer, to be honest. And there'll be people moaning and groaning that we're going back for the same old players. But if he's proven at the level, I don't think he did it necessarily last time for us, but he was being played out of position. He played on the right-hand side. And I think if he comes in as an experienced operator at the level, still as well, I couldn't believe this, but he's only 27. I thought he were a little bit older than that, but he's younger than Gus Hamer. He's younger than Callum O'Hare. So again, you're getting that Championship experience, but with a player that's got plenty left in the tank. So it's a yes from me. I know we face stiff competition, but we can certainly offer Ben Brereton Diaz first team football next season. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for joining me. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Up the blades!